Today, I'm testing one of my craziest experiments ever. I will fuse Pokémon in real life to create new creatures. Some fusions may become stronger than normal Pokémon. Others could gain completely new abilities, but failed experiments may create dangerous monsters. First, we start with Pikachu. He is small, covered in yellow fur, with red cheeks and a lightning tail. Pikachu can already generate weak electricity. When placed on the table, he runs around curiously and explores everything. His energy makes him the perfect subject for our first fusion experiment. The second Pokémon is Squirtle, a calm water type with a blue shell. And like Pikachu, Squirtle slowly explores his surroundings. He can fire powerful water jets from his mouth. Today, I want to combine electricity with water. If the fusion works, we may create something completely new. I carefully placed both Pokémon into the fusion chamber. The machine activated as lights flashed across the lab. Electricity and water swirled together inside the chamber. Moments later, the doors slowly opened. Inside stood our first Pokémon fusion. It had Pikachu's ears and tail, combined with Squirtle's shell. Electric sparks covered its body while water rippled around its feet. The fusion created a new power by combining electricity with water. The energy traveled through water and formed a powerful shockwave. Neither Pikachu nor Squirtle could do this alone. This was only the first experiment. The next fusion could become even stronger. Before continuing, I decided to test the creature's real power. I placed a metal target across the room. The fusion gathered water and charged electricity. Then it released a massive electric wave through the water. The explosion was far stronger than expected. We will need to be more careful now. This time, we are combining fire with nature. Inside this Pokeball is Charmander, with a flame burning on his tail. That flame represents his life energy and power. To complete this fusion, we also need Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a grass-type Pokémon with a plant bulb on its back. It absorbs sunlight to grow stronger. Bulbasaur can attack with vines, but fire and plants rarely work together. If this fusion succeeds, we may create explosive burning vines. But this experiment feels far more unstable than the first one. Charmander and Bulbasaur entered the fusion chamber together. Fire and nature normally cannot coexist in battle. Today, we are forcing their powers to merge into one creature. The machine started charging as green light and flames mixed together. Bulbasaur's vines glowed while Charmander's tail burned brighter. The chamber became unstable and nearly overloaded. Then everything suddenly went silent. The chamber door slowly opened to reveal the second fusion. The creature had Charmander's body and a giant glowing plant bulb. Burning vines dragged behind it like fiery whips. When it attacked, the vines ignited midair. The flaming vines exploded against the target with massive force. This fusion was far stronger than expected. We now have to fuse Pokémon with incredible new powers. But to continue the experiment, we need something even stronger. So far, we have only fused smaller Pokémon. The next Pokémon is Lucario, a fighter who can sense aura energy. Lucario is fast, intelligent, and extremely powerful in battle. This time, Lucario will fuse with Machamp. Machamp is one of the strongest Pokémon, with 4 massive arms. Together, they could create the ultimate warrior. But if the fusion becomes too strong, it may be impossible to control. I placed both Pokémon into the fusion chamber. The machine activated, and energy levels instantly skyrocketed. Lucario's aura filled the lab while Machamp prepared for battle. The violent energy collision shook the entire laboratory. Then the energy collapsed inward. The chamber opened and the fusion stepped out. It had Machamp's massive body and Lucario's speed. Its glowing forearms smashed the training target with huge force. This fusion hits harder and moves faster than either Pokémon alone. Things are becoming dangerous as our fused Pokémon grow stronger. But one final experiment still remains. This final fusion will combine two extremely dangerous Pokémon. If it succeeds, the result may become unstoppable. But if it fails, the consequences could be catastrophic. We are about to fuse the 2 most destructive Pokémon yet. The first is Charizard, a massive fire type with powerful wings and flames. Its fire is strong enough to melt rock and heat the air around it. The second Pokémon is Tyranitar. Tyranitar has rock-hard armor and strength powerful enough to destroy mountains. Combining these two may create the strongest fusion so far. There is no turning back as both Pokémon enter the chamber. The machine begins charging beyond anything we tested before. Charizard's flames and Tyranitar's energy violently collide inside. The chamber shakes as warning lights flash everywhere. Energy leaks from the machine while fire and rock merge into a storm. The light grows brighter until the entire lab is blinded. Then the chamber suddenly bursts open. The final fused Pokémon slowly emerges from the smoke. It has Charizard's wings and Tyranitar's armored body. Its massive form is covered in spikes and burning flames. Every breath releases scorching fire from its mouth. But something clearly went wrong during the experiment. The monster becomes violent and smashes through the laboratory wall. The fusion beast escapes and begins rampaging through the lab. It destroys equipment everywhere with overwhelming power. If this creature fully escapes, it could destroy everything nearby. Now the only way to stop it is with our earlier fusions. The electric and water fusion attacks first with a massive shockwave. Electricity spreads across the monster's armor to slow it down. At the same time, the fire and vine fusion attacks with burning vines. But the monster roars and breaks free from every attack. It prepares to destroy the entire lab. At the last moment, the Lucario and Machamp fusion jumps forward. Its forearm punch crashes into the monster with enormous force. The shockwave spreads across the room as the beast finally collapses. As the energy fades, the laboratory becomes quiet again. The fusion experiment is finally over. Today we discovered how powerful Pokémon fusion can become. Some fused Pokémon gained abilities far beyond their originals. But we also learned that some combinations are impossible to control. Future fusion experiments could become even more dangerous. Thanks for watching this crazy Pokémon fusion experiment.